Hey folks, Master of Suicide here, and welcome to another video of mine. This time we're gonna watch, well, two of my drawing processes, one for a comic and another one for a pixel art piece. And we'll start with the comic because it's the longer one, and where is it? Oh, damn it. Here it is. And I have to push another button. So, here we go. I think I can get a little bit closer. Fit. As you can see, I'm just filling. It paused. Perfect. Fit on window. Okay. So as you can see, I'm just coloring in the ground now and doing all the basic, well, color patches, to put it this way. Like the broader areas are being colored so that I can see if it is working. If the colors I choose have at least some kind of synergy. I do realize my color palettes are way off often, but it's just something you have to practice till you get anywhere at all. For those wondering, I switched the place where I record, because if I record here, no one will walk through and I won't have to stop all the time, and the background is nicer. So I think that's it now. As you can see, I choose a little bit more lighter color for the front way where he is walking and standing, because I figured it would be more interesting that way and clear what he's doing there, because otherwise it would be a little bit aimless, I assume. And it helped to put some depth into it, because it's getting narrower. Oh, I have to this if it gets farther away. So, neat little trick. Oh, I realized that I will have to, like this here. Okay. Now I'm no longer obscuring the view or to my beautiful picture with my evenly beautiful face. Or the other way around. Well, yo, no it. As you can see, I'm just choosing very simple colors for this one. Like his whole outfit exists of different shades of brown, with his trousers being the darkest and his fur being the lightest color. I'm not even sure if it is brown or a yellowish greenish tone. And you can see me switching on and off with the background, because I was quite unsure if all the details are where they belong to be. And here I'm adding leaves, I think, and some smaller details like the sort of the hilt, and I think the next will be the sound effects words. Don't know how they call it in English. No, I'm getting backgrounds for every drawing. And I try to stress this moment where you hear something and it's like this effect with this jagged line in the background, but it's not entirely turned out how I wanted, but it's the first time drawing a comic. Don't expect it to be perfect, to be honest. I'm kinda happy, and I'm also very aware of its imperfections at really everything. But I like it, because it's to a certain degree finished. It's not something that I sit like, well, I had this project with this 20-page comic and I never finished it. No, it's just, hey, here's the comic. First 2 pages or first 1 page, and it's finished, and it's looking acceptable. It's something I, for myself, describe my art very often like, okay, it does a job. I will get better at it. I think it's a very important thing to keep this in mind, like this attitude you have to have as an artist. If you're just like, well, this is not perfect, I have to get perfect, this may motivate you for some time, but at some point it will just get you down, because you're sitting like, oh, it's not perfect. When will it be perfect? It won't ever. I think even the most famous artists of all time will have sat there and be like, well, okay, this picture is finished now. I can't improve it with my skill level now. I was thinking about, well, no, that's fine. And I'm not sure. I'm adding shadows. I was like, what am I doing here? I'm just switching on and off things. But I'm trying to get a little bit more three-dimensional feeling to it. And this is one of the most important things. If you want something to have a plastic, three-dimensional feeling, put in some lightnings and some shadows. Highlights and shadows, I think would be the correct term, because it really helps to reinforce the structure of the whole thing. It really helps to put the whole thing into depth and three-dimensionally, and put it three-dimensionally? No, you know what I mean. And that's enough for this point. But you have to keep in mind to not that shadows are not just like I'm doing it the darker version, but they normally tend to have like a color tinge, like many people use shadows that go into like blue and purple, and light that goes into like orange and yellow, which are complementary in a certain way, so it's you get a more interesting look on the whole thing. Something that I will certainly try out in the future, but I did not know when drawing this here. And I went for again for some kind of light effect when unskeeving the katana and doing this movement. Because normally if you have a sword in a hilt, I think it is kind of stuck there firmly so that you don't lose it when you're running around. At least that's how I imagine it to be. I never hold a normal perfect sword. And this was quite painful to do this slash speed line thing, because I didn't want to add real speed lines. I just wanted to have this area where you can see where the sword traveled. And in the end I just went with this little lighter area. And I think it gets the job across, but it's certainly not perfect. But I did not know how to get it better with this art style, so we'll have to stay this way. What else could I point out here? One thing to think about always is, if you know there are gonna be like these great sound effects, as a big sound effect somewhere, you will have to change the way you arrange the whole drawing. This is something I really understood afterwards. If you do not want to slap them on top, just like, well, okay, and here's our sword slash in the middle of the picture, you will have to think about, okay, I have to be like, here is some place that is not so interesting that I regret covering up with sound effects, speech bubbles. Well, just keep it in mind. It's something I saw on my own drawing here, that if I had planned it better, I could have more description things, like little steps in the first picture where he walks here. Maybe here some kind of swoosh sound effect when he does this whole sweeping cut. What would be interesting for me is, do you understand what's happening and in which direction you have to read the pictures? Because for me it's second nature, because I did it so many times, but I'm not quite sure if it is to you. So please, if you're confused, write it in the comments, because this is the part of the drawing that I can't criticize for myself. I can be like, okay, the drawing, I switched this proportions from this more chibi-esque rabbit to a more bigger one, and it was not even what I wanted to do, and such things, but I can't, well, at least at this point I'm not capable of judging the flow of the whole reading process. Well, it's very short, but you get what I mean. If you have problems reading it, or if you can read it totally fine, please let me know. It would be a great help. But I'm rambling on long enough about this one. Just a quick thing, the music you hear in the background, again, as always, is from Adrian Ziegler. I will put his channel in the description. Check out the music, beautiful if you want to have something in background, and for YouTube and Twitch, even if you monetize your videos, it's completely free, which is absolutely amazing. So, we got this out of the way, and now we get to the second part of today's video. We had this first amateur try at a comic, and now you will have to bear with me with my next amateur try, this time pixel art scenery. And here we go. Just as a quick disclaimer, I watched a tutorial for doing this, and also had a reference picture of a mountain scenery. if you want to see the tutorial video or the reference picture, you just go to the link to the drawing. Also I'll link my DeviantArt account where you can find this drawing, and there I have linked the tutorial and the reference picture for the tutorial, as in some ways I'm very similar to what he did, because I had no experience and just try to get it right. So as you can see here, I'm trying to add the background first, and pause here at the moment. What's important and what I did not realize when drawing was that these lines here, can you even see my mouse? No, you can't. The lines where the different colors of the sky are changing are soft, and the skyline of the mountain as well. And that was not what I wanted actually, but I just ticked off, well, no anti-aliasing will be fine. Well, it wasn't. You can clearly see it's not looking bad, but it's not this crisp and clean pixel look that I wanted to go for. And as I'm adding these details in front, like this watchtower thing with a person on it, I realized that this here is the look I want to have, like these clear outlines. And then I realized, oh my god, the rest of the drawing is not the style I wanted it to have. And add in a little bit of detail, and then change the background step by step. I think I can show it to you here. Like, I added these things here on top of the whole normal image, because without them it's a soft sky, and with them it's this crispy, clear pixel look, which is not always the best thing, but I wanted to practice this look and kinda cheated without wanting to. But in the end, I have to say Pixelart is one of the things that I really can recommend anyone to try out, because it's highly different from what you normally do. Like, if you're a traditional drawing arty type who's well, a little bit of modeling here, as a like clay sculpturing, don't know how to pronounce it in English, or painting and drawing, it's all very different, but you have some similarities. And Pixelart is like one of these mediums that's like the difference between a pencil drawing and drawing on a canvas. It's immense. It's a whole different way of approaching it, and you can learn many things that you can translate into other drawing styles, and you can carry many of your things you already knew into pixel art. Like, I already know a little bit about like composition and how to put things, and I've seen a lot of pixel games, so I have a repertoire of things in my head that I can pull from. And so yeah, if you are unsure, like, oh, where do I start, I will link a channel in the description with a great amount of amazing pixel art tips and tricks tutorials. And yeah, you can also go to the link of this picture. There will be another tutorial video in the description. So lots of things for you to try out, to test. And as you can see, this is my first ever time creating something in pixel art. And I think it's not that bad. It's not amazingly interesting, but it's visually pleasing, I would say. And so testing these new art styles really is one of my favorite things when drawing. So I encourage you to do it as well. It's quite fun. And while I think I could talk about this for a short period, if you were able to keep with me and all my rambling nature for so long, you will keep this. Yeah, well, you will live for this 2 minutes. I'm sorry for not uploading the last week, and I think it's 2.5 weeks now since my last upload. It was just very stressful at the end of my job. It was only 6 weeks or so, but to put it this way, I was working like 6 days a week, sometimes 7, and at some point you're just done, and you're not, even if your job is as easy as you can, as simple and straightforward as you can think of, it's just you don't have too much energy. So I'm sorry. I will continue doing more editing intense videos, maybe something about Axiom Verge, because I'm playing that at the moment, but I was just not able to play that much the last time, so I don't have too much things to talk about. And I hope you can forgive me for that. And we will see the next video. So if you liked it, leave a like. And if you want to see more of this kind of video or some video game related stuff, subscribe to my channel, check out my other videos. If you have any questions, just put them in the comments down below, yeah, or ask me on Twitter. I actually started checking my Twitter regularly now, so well, it's viable now. Before that, it was like, well, and I have a Twitter. I check it every month. Well, now it's like every 1 or 2 days I'm looking for messages and whatnot. So, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Master Suicide, over and out.